Complete 360 Real Estate Podcast. My name is Eli Emiliano. We're so glad you're with us today. In today's episode, you're going to listen to an interview by my co-host Vicky with her daughter Gabrielle. She is a very intellectual person that is really going to talk to our Generation Z people, our young people that are coming up, trying to figure things out, not knowing exactly what to do, how to find their place in their financial situation. If you're a Gen Z or you know a Gen Z, you need to share this podcast with them. It's a lot of vital information that's going to help everyone, even us grown-ups. I learned so much from this. So sit back, relax, share this podcast from Complete 360 Real Estate.
Welcome to Complete 360 Real Estate. Hi, Gabrielle.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good morning. Can you please introduce yourself to our beautiful audience that are listening to us today?
Okay. Hello. I'm Gabrielle De La Cruz. I'm her daughter. I am 19 years old, and I graduated high school in May 2023. This was my first semester of college and not doing it in like high school at the same time. So I'm going into my second semester on the 16th. I am a real estate agent, and I'm also a notary, so I can notarize your documents in person and online.
Gabby, you have a lot of things going on for yourself. Lately, you've been super busy with trying to meet multiple demands, especially school, going through real estate classes to get your license. Talk to people that are your age and maybe they want to know, why did you get into real estate?
So when it comes to the real estate part, there was one other person in my class that was actually around my age. He was maybe 2 years older than me, but there are definitely younger people who are getting into real estate. And it's mostly because of their parents, because they're indoctrinating them into the company as well. But some students just decide, I don't want to go to college. I want to just start my career immediately. And so instead they go into real estate because that's just, a certification that you take. And then you take a test, and then you get a broker, and then you actually start working for yourself. So if you don't feel like college is the best choice for you, that's definitely a career that you can start immediately, straight out of high school, because you only need to be 18. So that's a lot of the motivations behind becoming a real estate agent at such a young age. But mine was just so that I could have a stable income for myself during college, because I do want to get a formal education as well.
Right. So one of the things that I'm very proud as your mother is the fact that you did the work, and now you're going to be earning your own income, supporting yourself through college. And of course, you're going to go to my favorite school, in a school that really where all your family went to, which is Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. And you have a house. So do you want to talk to people a little bit about that?
Yes. So my entire life so far has been very meticulously planned. I decided to go to tech because it was probably the most economical choice for me at the time. And it did have the degree plans that I wanted to follow through. And don't let anyone tell you, oh, that school sucks, or you shouldn't go there because it's too cheap, or everything should be in your favor. So we decided to go to tech because I have family there. It's also a really nice area, and we had land there, so we built a house on that land. So I didn't have to stay in the dorms. One of the reasons why I really didn't want to stay in the dorms is because I'm a vegetarian, so I wanted to have a kitchen of my own. And so you really just have to plan everything. What is the best outcome for you? My house is very small, but that's okay because there's only me and one other person living in the house. But it was designed, so we designed it. It wasn't like an already set floor plan. And what really went into the house is, cutting things that we didn't need and adding things that we did need. For example, we don't have small children, so we don't need a bathtub. Instead, we only have showers. We have 2 dogs, so we have a doggy door. We don't want to use light fixtures as much, so we have multiple windows to use natural light. We didn't want silver fixtures in our house as much, so instead we got brass fixtures and gold fixtures. So it was really a process of just customizing the house to meet our needs and cut out all of the extra things that we really didn't need. And also using things we already had. So we're going to keep my fan that I already have in my current house and move it to the new house. So it was really just a process of customizing the house. Yeah.
So when we decided to build a house, so you and Daniel could go to school there, what was the reason that we felt it was important that we build a house? But more importantly, that you're buying the house.
Yeah, I am buying the house.
Your parents are not giving it to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I am going to go to Texas Tech for a really long time, so I'll be there for multiple years. I mean, we did not want to pay for dorm costs because that would actually, in the end, be more than just buying the house and then eventually owning it. And that's, my own equity. So that's definitely a plus. But then also, once I do leave Lubbock, because I don't plan on staying there, that house can then become a rental or an Airbnb. And that's income for me and whatever I do after college, whether it's go to, law school and use that income while I'm in law school, or I could say I start a job and I'm in an internship, I'll still have income even though I'm not earning money from my current internship. It's also just, it's a way to start off my generational wealth as well, because I don't plan on inheriting things from my parents. It's definitely me on my own going through life. So I am really excited about being able to say that I have assets.
Great. The other thing I want you to talk to our audience, specifically to Gen Zs, is I know that we've read a lot where Gen Zs are actually purchasing homes.
Yeah. So, the youngest Gen Z is a senior in high school right now. So older Gen Zs are in college ages, and so they are purchasing homes already. Some Gen Zs are already having children. So, they're starting off their family. And because a lot of Gen Zs are a little more educated than past generations, just due to their parents, due to media exposure, they do understand the importance of having good credit, buying a house. And so because they can start early, they are. The Gen Z that are old enough, they are definitely buying houses already.
Gabby, you mentioned credit. Do you want to talk about when we started building your credit, at what age, what happened when you turned 18 years old, and how strong your credit is right now?
From what I remember, I think I got my first credit card at 17 years old, but it wasn't mine to keep. My mother did hold on to it for me, but it was just so that I did have a credit card. And then I got my own credit card that I could keep at the age of 18, I'm pretty sure. It was a Discover credit card with a very low limit, no interest, and it was just for cash back, which I thought was awesome because anytime I bought something, I got cash back. And it was really not to put debt onto it, not to buy extra things, but it was only to buy what I already had in my bank account so that I could pay it off immediately. And then once it was paid off, I would get all that cash back. So don't overspend on that credit card, the money that you don't already have in your debit card. And then I got a second credit card maybe 4 or 5 months after that. And that one's a travel expense credit card because it is my dream to travel. So I get travel points on there and I buy the big stuff with that card. Like my college tuition, I put the payment on my college tuition. Then I got a reimbursement for the scholarship I had. And then I paid off the credit card. I also bought my school laptop with that credit card, and then I paid it off. So it is really just for big purchases that I pay off very quickly.
Beautiful. So I know that you've been very, very involved in your own loan. Has it been hard? Is it what you expected?
I think for me, it's slightly different because I have gone to real estate school and I went through my notary training. And in those classes, they do teach you what each segment is about. They give you the broader definitions, and then they tell you what numbers correspond to what value, like your interest, and if you have a balloon payment, if you don't have a balloon payment, if you have prepayment penalties. And those are all things that you probably wouldn't know unless you had extensive knowledge of those documents. However, I do. I think it is important to learn about these documents when you are in the process of buying a home. I wish there was more education on it. I would say for the average person, I don't think it's really understandable. So you need someone like my mom to help you go through the process, because as a notary, if I were to help you, I probably wouldn't be able to explain it to you, because that is an unlawful practice of law. So you definitely need someone to teach you these things so you don't just sign off the paper and, make a mistake.
Correct. It's important to understand the documents.
Yeah.
I believe you even found some mistakes
Yes.
on the documents.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. So, yes, you're right. If you're thinking about purchasing a house, and give us a call, we can help you with the loan. We'll explain every little line that it's on that loan estimate to make sure you understand how much money you're going to need in order for you to get your keys at the end. Last but not least, Gabby, what would you say to someone that is your age, in your age bracket, if they wanted to call you so that you can help them get started, whether it's with credit or maybe they already have the credit, but they really don't know how they can finance a house, or the why. Why should they buy a house at this young age? What would you say to someone, let's say a teenage friend of yours, if you were giving them advice?
So if I was talking to a teenage friend of mine that did have current income coming in and they wanted to buy a house, I would tell them that it's definitely possible. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but we can build you up to that point, especially because we're so young. We do have credit cards, but maybe you're not using it responsibly, or you don't understand how to use your credit card and pay it off quickly. That's something that I can definitely help you with my own experience, and then also my team's experience on how to hit that credit score that you need. And when it comes to why they should buy a house, I would just say so that you have a stable living place and not pay rent to somebody. Because paying rent, it does drain your pockets, because you're paying more than you actually need to. Most people who do, have rental properties, and this is not a secret, are charging you so that you pay their bill and then they get to pocket the rest. So even though rent might be more economical for you in the long run, you'll be saving yourself money and you won't be putting money into someone else's pocket. So
Beautiful. I know before we close, at Texas Tech, there's duplex being built everywhere. And so young people are buying those duplexes. They're leasing each room for almost $1,000. So one in particular, the builder that built your house, built a duplex. The person that bought it is leasing each one of those rooms, and it has 6 bedrooms. And 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, I believe, because each of them have their own restroom. And so can you imagine this person or this student is collecting $5,000, because he's living in one of those rooms, $5,000 a month. So that duplex is getting paid on its own by other students.
Yeah. So he's making passive income from that house. And so although that is a great investment choice on his part, if you're the little Gen Z that is living in that room, you're not adding any value to yourself at that point.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Gabby. Thank you for this interview. And as your mother, I'm extremely proud, but also I believe that you represent a lot of Gen Zs out there that are trying to just get ahead. And so thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome.